What's your favorite space fact? After traveling since 1977, Voyager 1 has now reached about 20 light-hours distance from the Sun. Vast does not begin to describe the universe. Neutron stars are so dense that a teaspoon of material from one would weigh around 10 million tons. Most of the visible stars in the night sky are binary stars, two stars orbiting each other. If you could see it all clearly with the naked eye, the Andromeda Galaxy, which is on a collision course with us, would be huge in the sky, several times bigger than the Moon, but since it's 2.5 million light-years away from us, all we can make out with our eyes is its super-dense core. But if your eyes were more sensitive, you could see a giant spiral galaxy floating right overhead, like this.
https://2080a9i1TO80370U3M1LOI861-webpension.net/feature.png and this https://wwp.content/uploads/2014/06/m31abdpmoon900.jpg. Sauce https://waitbot.com/2014/06/andromeda-brighter-u-c.html. Jupiter has over 60 moons. Over 70 now. https://solarsystem.nasa.gov/moons/jupiter-moons/overview/?page equals O and per_page equals 40 in order equals name plus ask and search equals and placeholder equals enter plus moon plus name and condition _1 equals 9% 3 apparent _id and condition _2 equals moon %3 a body _type %3 a like closing parenthesis comma and well on the way to 80 as of today. There are clouds of alcohol floating in space. Alcohol clouds in space. https://phys.org/news/2014-09-alcohol-clouds-space.html. Neptune was discovered using math. A man named Alexis Bouvard made some predictions on Uranus's future position using Newton's laws of gravity, but when it was later observed it was found to be slightly off. Urbain Le Verrier found that if he assumed there was another planet further out, the discrepancy would be explained and used math to predict where it could be found. Finally, a man named Johann Galle looked in the spot Le Verrier specified, and lo and behold, there was Neptune. Being able to see a total solar eclipse is a sheer coincidence of timing. The Moon is just large enough and just far enough away from Earth to appear to be the exact size of the Sun during a total eclipse, when it covers the entire disk of the Sun. Since the Moon is slowly moving away from Earth, one day it will no longer appear large enough to fully cover the Sun and there will be no more total eclipses. This won't happen for 600 million years though, so don't panic. Space welding. In a vacuum, you don't need welding materials to get two metals to fuse, they will do it on their own if you place them close enough. Venus spins backward. Whatever the direction of the other planets when they are rotating, Venus rotates the exact opposite way. That there are 100 billion galaxies in the observable universe, and that number is likely to at least double as Hubble goes further and observes more of the universe. It's insane to think that we live on a mere speck within the Milky Way galaxy, and that there are possibly 199,999,999,999 other galaxies out there, each separated by millions of light-years. The enormity of the universe is mind-boggling. The Sun loses about 5.5 million tons of mass every second, or about 174 trillion tons of mass every year. The universe is still in its very infancy. In fact, according to some studies, despite an almost infinite number of planets, 92% of all planets there will ever be, have not even been formed yet. The universe is in fact so young, relatively speaking, that several types of stars have not even had enough time to exist yet. Blue dwarfs, red dwarfs that have started spending the last of its hydrogen. The first of this kind of star is not expected to exist until 1 trillion years in the future. Considering our universe is only around 13 billion years, it is going to take some time until we spot the first blue dwarf. The blue dwarf will eventually turn into a white dwarf. Black dwarfs. A white dwarf can be formed any number of ways, and we have observed a lot of them. But, when a white dwarf star cools down, it starts the process of becoming a black dwarf. This process can theoretically take as little as 1 quadrillion years, or as much as 37 quadrillion years. This is the ultimate fate of our sun, and the process is going to take thousands of times longer than the universe has even existed so far. Due to gravitational time dilation, from the perspective of a black hole's event horizon, the event that created it only happened moments prior. But from our perspective, black holes are some of the oldest and longest living objects in the universe. And because a singularity is believed to be a point of infinite density, time is infinitely dilated at that point. So from the perspective of the singularity, it exists at only one, infinitely small amount of time. With this in mind, a black hole would not be an object, it would be an event. More specifically, it'd be an explosion with such a high energy density that it warped the space and time around it, and slowed it down from our perspective. If you were to scale the universe down so that the sun was the size of the period at the end of this sentence, the nearest star would be 4 miles away. Also, the Big Bang was not an explosion of matter, rather it was an expansion of space itself. Everything is getting farther away from everything else, as all space is expanding. There is no center of the universe. There are 2 confirmed oceans in the solar system. One on Earth, and one on Saturn's moon Titan. The biggest difference is Titan is about -180 C. The ocean is liquid methane. It even has waves that get as high as, wait for it, a couple centimeters. You could fit all the planets in the solar system in the space between Earth and the moon. I just wanna know what NASA's protocol is for an astronaut dying in space. Do they send the body back to Earth on a little pod? Do they send the body out the airlock to circle the Earth forever? Saturn's tiny moon Enceladus has volcanoes that spew ice particles at speeds faster than the escape velocity. The particles leave Enceladus' atmosphere and get pulled into Saturn's ring system, forming the E-ring. I can't say this is my favorite space fact, for obvious reasons, but it's absolutely amazing and heartbreaking. There is verifiable evidence that at least 3 astronauts survived the initial explosion of the Challenger in 1986. Each astronaut was equipped with a personal emergency air pack, and when the shuttle cabin was recovered from the Atlantic Ocean, at least 3 of these air packs were manually activated. About 6.63 quadrillion Earths can fit in the largest discovered star. So far, only 3 people have actually died in space. Russian cosmonauts who had technical difficulties disconnecting from the space station Salyut 1, opening the airlock of their shuttle, Soyuz 11, exposing them all to the vacuum of space. If the sun dies, it'll take 8 minutes for us to realize. You could survive 90 seconds unprotected in space. But a chimpanzee can last up to 3 minutes. If there was air in space that sound was able to travel through, at the sun's surface it would emit a deafening 290 decibels, which is so loud that it pretty much transcends sound and just turns into a pressure wave. But at the Earth's surface, it would be about 120 decibels, which is about as loud as standing a couple meters away from an active jackhammer. Where it gets spooky though, is that if the sun were to suddenly disappear, not only would it take a full 8 minutes for us to notice the lack of sunshine or gravity, but because the speed of sound is so comparatively slow, we would still hear the sun for another **13.8 years. Saturn's density allows for it to float on water, if you happen to have a not-so-small bathtub. You are seeing nothing in real time, as you look anywhere. Especially space. You are seeing light as it was. Anywhere and everywhere. Nothing is in real time. It's all in the past.
This is a cliché, but I love the fact that most elements were formed inside the burning furnace of stars. Everything that exists, you, me, ants, bananas, rocket ships, are literally made of remnants of exploding stars. A light year is 6 trillion miles. My favorite is this one. A lot of the material that makes up our bodies, especially anything heavier than iron, can only be created when a star explodes. So, basically, you're made up of star stuff. We could actually move the sun with a giant mirror. The way this would work is building a giant half-sphere of a mirror that has a greater circumference than the sun. The light would shine into the mirror, moving the sun closer to the mirror, but if I remember correctly, the mirror wouldn't run into the sun because of radiation. It would be slow, very slow, but it would be possible to move the sun's entire orbit in our galaxy by about 100 light-years up or down. TLDR, we can make a big mirror that makes a small amount of thrust from the sun to move its orbit. Also, my source is Kurzgesagt, the video on stellar engines, here, https://u2.be/v3y8ix_do. I've always liked that even though there is no air, space stinks. Various astronauts have described it as metallic, sweet welding fumes, burnt brake pads, walnuts, and gunpowder. No one can hear you scream. It's the longest of all the keys. Light doesn't always travel at the speed of light. Speed of light is a bit of a misnomer, which has to be caveated by saying, in a vacuum. Light travels slower in other substances. A more accurate term would be the speed of causality, as it's the fastest speed at which anything in the universe can possibly affect anything else in the universe. Bonus fact: the blue color of Cherenkov radiation is a sonic boom that occurs when electrons break the speed of light *barrier. Speed of light in water. Pluto, https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/Pluto. Didn't make a full revolution around the Sun, which takes approximately 248 years, between being discovered, 1930, and questioning of its planetary status, approximately 25% 1992, or official delisting, approximately 30% 2006. The age of the universe is not a single number. Since gravity affects the flow of time, in parts of the universe with more mass than average, the universe is younger than in areas with less mass than average. Most of what Hollywood portrays about the vacuum of space is just plain wrong. Space isn't cold, nor is it hot. By definition of a vacuum, it's neither. There's 3 ways something cools or warms: conduction, convection, and radiation. In space, the first 2 are not applicable because there's nothing to convect. So the only way something can heat up is by absorbing radiation like sunlight, and the only way it can cool is by radiating its own heat, which is a very slow process. Cooling is actually a much bigger problem for astronauts than heating. Hollywood also loves to portray the explosive nature of space. Open a hatch, and your whole body explodes. And again, that's not true. Again, by definition, space is 0 atmospheres of pressure. Here on Earth we are under 1 atmosphere. The difference is enough to kill you, but not very dramatically. A hole in a space station could literally be patched with duct tape, or by placing a hand over it. I always thought the concept of spaghettification was fascinating. Gravity around a black hole being so intense that while it bends the space around it, it also bends time, so that the closer you get, the slower time moves relative to anything outside the influence of the black hole's gravity. Basically, as things get sucked into a black hole, since time moves slower and slower the closer you get, the part closest to the black hole stretches and gets compressed into fine neutroni jelly beyond the scope of physics, and the part farthest away just gets to sit there and watch. Astronomers have observed that the structure of the universe very much resembles a neuron. I'm not even joking, look it up. How crazy would it be if the universe is just a nerve cell that's part of a giant brain? The code for the airlock is the same as President Scrooge's luggage. I know there's an anomaly called the Boötes void. It's a gargantuan region of space with not a whole lot of stuff inside of it, right in the middle of an ocean of galaxies. It's kind of scary, in an existential way. It takes the light from stars so long to reach us that we are technically looking millions of years into the past. Chances are that many of the stars that you see are dead, just like your dreams. I got so excited when I saw this. I love astronomy, and everything about it. I'll share a few space facts with y'all. 1. Even though scientists believe that life on other planets is rare, there are trillions of other planets that could contain water, which is needed to create life. The 3 basic things needed to create life are energy, a wide diversity of chemical elements, and liquid, such as water. 2. The only elements that were created in the Big Bang were hydrogen, helium, and a little bit of lithium. So, the other elements must have been formed in the hot, fiery cores of the first stars. 3. Billions of years ago, the Earth was a deadly place. The Earth was taken over by lunar volcanism, and our atmosphere was extremely toxic and unstable.